Hello, everyone, and welcome to what we hope to be is a regular feature here on a Friday night to review the last game for City Liverpool and preview the coming game, which is tomorrow versus Hanley Town. And we're joined, as you can see, by City Liverpool first team manager Paul McNally. So, good evening, Paul.
Good evening, Paul.
Good. Everything all right, mate? All looking forward to tomorrow. All going good.
Yeah, all good. I've yet to name my squad. I'm going to do that once I get back from the shops here with the wife.
Once we've had this chat, you mean?
Yeah, once we've had this chat, I'll get the squads out then, and the lads they'll all know who's in the squad tomorrow.
Good. Okay, well, I mean, let's go into it straight away, Paul. Yeah. Last Saturday's game at Ramsbottom. Just tell us. I know immediately after the match, you give your thoughts to Sam or Mike or whatever, and it's usually, it's an emotional time straight after the match. So now you've had a week to calm down. You've had 2 more training sessions. What's your overview of Saturday's crucial win at Ramsbottom?
Look, I think it was fully deserved. I know we hung on and the heart wasn't good for it, do you know what I mean? But we hung on until the last 5 minutes. I know the last 5 minutes was when it come alive for us. But I think on the face of play, I've reflected on it, I've watched it again, and I do think we were full value for the win, regardless of how late we left it, do you know what I mean? Leaving it that late just made it a little bit more extra special, I felt, do you know what I mean? That was on the night, on the day. But I think if you'd have said we were fully deserving of the win, I don't think they'd have any qualms with that. That's how it felt anyway. And on reflection, like I say, I do think we deserved it. We were full value for it.
They started well, there's no doubt about it, and created a couple of really good opportunities. But from about half an hour, which is what I think he said at the time, after about half an hour, we grew into the game. We started creating chances, and then the second half, really, we were really on top. And certain players, I'll let you name who you think, but certain players really came to the fore and kept the foot on their neck.
Well, I think, look, Kenny Strickland went off injured, and it was a bad injury. And I think it wasn't that he was playing good or bad, do you know what I mean? It was from that point I brought Berkey on, I brought Max Allen on. Enforced changes, by the way, and I do feel that the game swung in our pendulum that way, do you know what I mean? I think we got a grip of the midfield and we started to get a grip of the game. All over the park, then we started controlling it. John Mack started getting on the ball, started taking them apart, and yeah, I thought we were full value for it, and I do think them players that I've mentioned, I do think they were instrumental in how we played, and that's not to single out any others that didn't play that well. I think it was a whole team performance in the end, you know what I mean? A squad performance, shall I say. Yeah. Because the 3 lads come off the bench and contributed to that win.
Of course they did, yeah.
But I do feel that them 3 players that I've just mentioned, look, since I've come in here, whether they've all played well, whether they haven't, do you know what I mean? It's I think that they stepped up to the plate that day. I thought it was outstanding from them.
And not for the first time this season. I mean, I suppose it's not a good thing, actually, but in some ways it is. But not for the first time, the lads have really dug in and got a late, in this case, winner. They got a late equaliser at Prescott, a late winner at home to Kidsgrove. So there is that team bond and that fight developing. The lads are capable of digging in and keeping going.
Yeah, Paul, I won't doubt that. It's something that, like I say, as a group, I do think we've got that fighting spirit. Times it hasn't gone well this season. The game before Runcorn Linnets, we were doing the same thing. It never come for us. In other games, we've come knocking and it hasn't come. But there's been that. There's been the Kidsgrove game. There's been the Prescott game. There's been a few games over the course of since I've been in charge that we've shown that we can compete late on, and that's a good sign. That fitness-wise, we're probably not where I want us to be and where the squad need to be, but we're still pushing on late doors, which is a good sign. When I first took over, I don't think we were getting late winners or late equalisers. I think we were starting off great and then faltering towards the end. So now the trend's starting to differ. We're not starting off as great, but we're going strong towards the end, which is we'll try and get the full package hopefully in the coming weeks.
Yeah. But no, I think that's a good point that you make, that the the fact that we're staying in games right until the end. I mean, there's only 2 games this season where we've lost by more than a single goal, so fair enough. But staying in the games for long enough to eventually get your chance and take it, which we did on Saturday, and the scenes, obviously everyone's seen the videos and whatever, as the equaliser goes in and as the winner went in, and it's fantastic. Kevin Ellison does a couple of, he gets a lung busting run to get an assist for the equaliser. He gets a little assist for the winner. Hughes does a lung buster to get on the end of that for the winner. Steele gets an assist and a goal. McGrath is there involved in both of them. So some really great signs there. And obviously with the crowd enjoying it and the players enjoying it with the crowd after both goals and then at the end of the game, I think it was a horrible way to win, but a great way to win.
It was, look, if it was on the other foot, I'd have been devastated, do you know what I mean? I would have been absolutely devastated. But sometimes in football, it happens to you. You know that you're going to come up against the results sometimes like that. But to win in that way, Kidsgrove had ran down the line, do you know what I mean? Because it was an emotional one. Mm. I didn't have nowhere to run this one because I was in shock still, and I looked and I just seen all the players, and as you've seen and yourself dancing,
I chased Uzi that way first, when he ran that way, and then I turned around and I chased him back.
But the overall view of it is, that's what puts bums on seats, them type of wins, do you know what I mean? Them types of last minute wins, do you know what I mean? Would it change it? No, you don't change them type of the wins. No matter how good or bad you play, no one remembers that. They just remember the last minute wins. And Kidsgrove, that on Saturday, and hopefully there's many more to come, do you know what I mean? Hopefully,
well, look, just quickly looking back even further than Kidsgrove, an awful lot of our sort of attendance figures and everything were built on our very first home league game against Bacup Borough in the Northwest County League First Division. 1-0
I can remember that well.
1-0 down in injury time. Jason, now Miss Jason, who's like a Hollywood cameraman and name, was just on his phone as we equalised at injury time and scored the winner, and the players come running towards Joe Camosi and Chris Lester, and he jumped in the crowd, and they talk about things going viral. That went viral for us, and a lot of people jumped on board after that. So maybe this can have the same effect, but we'll see.
The only disappointing, and it's not a disappointing thing, because our away fans were fantastic on the day. If it was at home, it would have been even better.
Yeah,
because we would have had a lot more fans. I would have hoped, you know what I mean? But them away fans, they were, to see that on the face.
That's the hard Saturday,
Saturday night was spent just looking through them celebrating and how good it was. And it's only one win.
Yeah.
Let's not beat around the bush. Let's not say it's thingy. But I'm hoping that it is a springboard for us to push on, and it give the fans something to be happy about that day. And I'm really, that's what I'm made up with. Do you know what I mean? I want that as well as anyone, and that's why I want that connection with our players, with the fans, and I want that going forward. That's a must. We need them on our side to move forward and win games.
And listen, putting smiles on people's faces, that is literally what it's all about. The team, the staff, the supporters, the committee, whatever it is. You wake up on a Sunday morning, you've got 3 points. Not just winning like we run at Ramsbottom, but winning anything, any game, and you've got your 3 points. Can't beat it. So
you can't.
Moving on, Paul, we've trained Tuesday, Thursday. Talk us a little bit through training Tuesday, Thursday, and then we'll move on to the game on Saturday.
Right, okay. So Tuesday we trained. We've done a little bit of fitness work. Obviously the temperatures were plummeting, but we've done a lot on the grass at the hub. We trained there. Thursday, yesterday, we trained obviously the plummeting there. We trained at Walton Old Park yesterday, didn't we? We trained, and the lads were made up. We've done a good session. We've been working on a few things. But it was more about the intensity, about how we train, and just getting the group together again. We've had a lot of injuries over the past few weeks, haven't we? So it's just getting the lads in together, training how we want to play, getting our principles down, and how we want to play moving forward. The week before the Ramsbottom, I think you know yourself, we had a meeting and we were going through our identity, which was a basically a 50-page document of mine, trying to be like a Roy Hodgson or something, but it was 50-page document, and it was our structure of where we want to be, what we want to play like, our identity of how we want to play, and the lads have took that on board, and I'm really amazed up with how they've took that, and moving forward, that's where we need to be, and that's how the lads have got to take that on board to play for this club. They've got to realise how big the club is and where we're moving, and what we want to be like moving forward.
And actually, without going back too far back to Ramsbottom, it was visible in some of the players' performances on Saturday that they were playing more like what you had been asking them to do in previous games, you know, turning the other team, getting them facing their own goal down a channel and winning those second balls. So it was good to see. So we've trained well. What's the injury update, Paul, without giving too much away ahead of your squad or whatever?
Most are available. Probably the major one, obviously, Jack Hazlehurst's a little bit struggling. So he's a doubt up to now. He's a doubt. So I think we'll just have to see how he is, and that's possibly the only one that's really a doubt up to now. So hopefully a stronger squad as we can choose from.
A full fit squad, good. Other than Jack. Jack did come off on Saturday with a little knock, so probably
yeah.
You know, and in these plummeting temperatures, maybe best to keep a hold of him anyway.
Yeah, and like I say, it was good to have Jack playing 90 minutes on the Wednesday, and then obviously played 60 minutes last week, and then the week before. So we have to treat him with kid gloves sort of thing and protect him.
Yeah, absolutely. So perhaps you'll have noticed, all the supporters today, that we brought back a club legend. A phrase easily tossed around, but we brought back Carl Clare, who was in our championship winning squad. What brought that about? Tell us a little bit about that deal.
Well, I brought Carl to Skem, didn't I, in the summer? I've knew Carl for a bit of time, as long as he was at the Perps. I worked with Carl at Liverpool. One summer we went to Iceland, coaching, and I was always a fan of him. As a player, just hold on 1 second. Just put that in the back for me, please. Go on to that. Parcels getting delivered in the back. Yeah, so he was a fan. I was a fan of him as a player. We'd had discussions in the past, and obviously he was a perfect player. I knew how good he was. There's not many better players than him around, I feel, in his position. We've got two gems, if the tens, do you know what I mean? We've got Carl, and we've got Jack Hazlehurst. But he also fits the bill of playing in a 6 or an 8. But it's not just as a player, it's what he brings to the club. He's a winner. He's a serial winner. He knows where the net is, and overall, he's a boss lad. And that's what I'll be looking to bring to clubs, lads who are going to fit into our profile and our identity of the club, and he fits that.
Good. Well, I mean, before we brought John Mack back in the summer, Jack Hazlehurst was the only remaining member of our championship winning side. Then we got Jack back, and now we got Carl back. So who's next? Longy? How long he wasn't in the championship winning team? I don't know what I'm talking about. Forget it. Right.
I think he's retired, hasn't he, Longy?
Probably. Again.
Sorry.
Retired, yeah. Let's talk about Hanley. Sorry, Paul, go on. Oh, lost Paul. Hang on, Pep. Sorry, we just lost Paul there. I don't know what was happening. The wife got in the car or something like that. Here he is coming back now. You're back, Paul.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Paul. We can't see you, unfortunately.
I can't see you. Microphones, just hold on 1 second. Let me just see.
No, it's all working, mate.
Can you see me?
I can see you and hear you, mate. No, you've gone now. You're back.
I can see you now. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm back on now. Must have been a dodgy connection here outside the Asda.
Yeah. So, go on to Hanley then. We'll finish up so that you can get home and all that. But go on, get on to Hanley.
Yeah. A tough game. I know there's 3 points ahead of us, 2 points ahead of us. They're close anyway. They're in within touching distance, but they've won 6 away games. They've lost 3, and they've drew 1. So when you put that record into context, it's up there with Macclesfield, Workingtons, That's top echelons of the league. So we've got to give them the respect that they deserve. They've got a new gaffer since we played them last time, and look, we won't underestimate them tomorrow. We'll be giving them the respect they duly deserve because they've got a lot of ex-pros in that team and they've got a lot of top players. So we won't take them lightly, and we'll have a little look at them. And tonight I'll be doing my own work on them and seeing how we can shape up.
Yeah, you touched on it there. Their away form, even though they're in 14th place in the league and they're 2 points ahead of us, Paul, but they're actually third in the away performance table. So, I mean, they've got some serious form that we need to take on board. They've asked us for the 1 p.m. kickoff, which we, not universally welcomed amongst our supporters, but when clubs in the league do ask you for a favour, you're expected to try and help if you can. We've helped Hanley now. We've helped Ramsbottom last week with the 1 o'clock kickoff. We helped Prescott with the Friday night kickoff. So maybe at some point, if we need a little favour, we can ask. But we've done them a favour of the 1 o'clock kickoff so they can get back for the England game. We're just hoping we can get our crowd, a good crowd there for 1 o'clock, and the team performs. And you're going to do your research, and the team will perform. But looking at the league table, Paul, if we win tomorrow, it's a big if. Obviously, every game in this division is hard. We can go above Hanley. We can go 14th, which would be a relief, really, and a nice place to be. What are your short-term goals, really? If you can let the fans know, what are your short-term goals, Paul?
Look, short-term goals at this minute is to get out of where we are. As you just touched upon, if we could reach, I'm not counting our chickens, if we could reach the 14th place tomorrow, then that's even better than I can hope for, do you know what I mean? And then the next couple of games, I think we can push on, do you know what I mean? There's no givens in this league, as you know. You can win one and then you can lose one and be back down there. So short-term goals probably would be to be like 14th, 15th, and then push on and consolidate, see where we can build and look to push on further. We could easily be back down there, though, as quick as you say we're up there. So
correct.
That's the inconsistencies of the league. We are where we are for a reason. If you had what we had when we started, if we'd possibly got a couple of points more on the board, then we might not be in this position. We could be a little bit higher, but it is what it is. We've got to deal with it. We've got a plan to try and push us up the table, and I do believe that will come. Performances aren't bad. We're actually playing okay in spells, and no one's hammering us, only League Town. And they're one of the best teams I feel in the league. Mm-hmm. But even the top teams we played, Mosley, we should have got something out of that. We've played all the top teams around us. Clitheroe, we should have got something out of it. And like I say, so there's a fine line between winning and drawing and losing in this league. And we could easily have had a couple of draws turned into wins, and we could have had a couple of losses turned into draws, or even possibly wins. So let's not be too downhearted about where we are. Because I quite believe that we could put a couple of wins together, and then suddenly you're talking 10th position possibly, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't want to get above myself, but
one game at a time, yeah.
Yes, the old school saying of one game at a time. Let's see where we end up tomorrow night at 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, whatever time we finish. And let's see where we are then. And then next week we might have a different goal. The goal next week could be, can we go to 12th? Or it could be, can we go to 14th again? Do you know what I mean? Let's just take it as that. Yeah. I'm trying to look up the table as much as I can because I don't want to look down. There's not much further we can look down anyway. But I'm trying to keep as optimistic as we can as a group, and the group is feeling the same because they don't want that pressure on them. Do you know what I mean? We don't need that pressure, the lads, and they can handle it. But let's push up because we're a team capable of pushing up higher.
Well, an interesting stat that we worked out this week, and we reviewed all of the games in the league over the last 2 months. The team that scores first in the game in this division goes on to win 60% of games. So you start each game with a 33% chance of wins or losing or draw. You score the first goal, you virtually double your chances of winning a game in this league. Not always, as we've found recently. But if you can get to the first goal, you're improving your chances of winning the game by almost double. I'll leave you with that thought.
Well, that's a great start, and I feel that's at most top levels of the game as well, do you know what I mean? Because they're nip and tuck, aren't they? And in our league, everyone's organised, everyone does their own work. They can get footage on teams quite easily, they know the players. So it's always, everyone starts off not to get beat, which is the first thing. Can you be brave to try and win a match? I like to think that we set our stall out not to contain teams. Can we be on the front foot? That's the way we like to play. And I think, is it proud? I don't know. Maybe we can look at it going forward, but I think that's the best way to be. I don't want to play 7 at the back, 5 at the back. Do you know what I mean? I want us to be on the front foot.
Peter Fairmouth, you'd be gutted. You just like his fifth off there.
I don't
7-2-1.
I don't mean that being bad. There's a time and place for a system like that, and I think the way we are as a team and the way we are as staff and the players, if we do that, we're setting us up to fail. Do you know what I mean? So let's attack every game and see where we end up. And obviously, we want to remain firm defensively. Do you know what I mean? That's the basis of every good team. But let's have a go at teams and see where we go. Let's not invite teams onto us and sit off. And hopefully we can get a point or something. We're not about that. We're better than that, I feel.
Right, nice one, Paul. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Paul. I can go in the Asda now. Thank you. Thank you.
See you later. Bye.